Hello. I can't see if anybody else is here, but welcome to talking about microdosing. And of course, microdosing, I'm talking about microdosing with fungi medicine. And I like to call it fungi medicine because I truly feel that it has been such a beneficial medicine for so many people. Hello, let's see, Brittany and Sarah and Heather and Joanne and everybody else. I mean, what an honor to have you be here with me. And I am open to hearing your thoughts, your questions, and about microdosing. I am the Director of Education at Coral Cove Wellness, which is a cannabis and fungi medicine retreat and resort in Jamaica. And I have experienced the wellness possibilities with microdosing personally, as well as guests and other people who are in this space. And it's an exciting thing. And to know that there are companies right now who are getting ready for an open market in cities in the United States. Because everybody asks me, where do I get this? How can I buy this? Well, it's not really there. It is decriminalized in certain cities, like everyone from Oakland to Santa Cruz, and they're going to have an initiative on the ballot for House for California. And we know that Oregon is completely gone legal with all different types of medicines that are available out there. Certain cities, I think Ann Arbor, Michigan is another city that is showing their decriminalization of psychedelics. So it's slowly coming along, but who's making it legally here in the United States? And where can somebody buy this? I get that question all the time. And quite frankly, uh, it is still in the gray area and you have to go searching around for it. I would say that I'm very fortunate that I know laboratories that are cultivating mushrooms and microdose in Jamaica. And so I do get it from reliable sources there. And yes, it's decriminalized in Seattle. Thank you so much, Brittany. And hey, Oregon. So Heather wanted to say something about that. Is Rob is talking about how it's doing well in Las Vegas. That's just it. There's certain pockets all across the country that are utilizing fungi medicine, and they have groups there, and they're sharing about what's happening. I know for myself, I've had some serious health issues the past couple of years, but I do feel that my mental well being was really kept balanced with microdosing. And I started microdosing about a year and a half ago. And I feel that it's helped me do so many things that were, obstacles that, I had probably put up myself. But I definitely, after I started microdosing, about 6 weeks in, I noticed little things like driving the car. I felt like my vision was sharper. I was more acutely in tune with things about. And I mean, I was never a bad driver. I can't remember the last time I got a ticket, but I do remember driving and the clarity I felt while driving. And I was on a program where I microdosed 1 day on, 2 days off. So it was always changing what days of the week it was. But everybody's different. I know I had some friends who were microdosing every day, and that was good for them. Everybody's body is different. So what you scale your body to your microdosing to, it could be completely different from mine. And I think the only way you're going to find out what's good for you is to try it, journal it, and see what works. And of course, it depends on what formulation that you're receiving. I receive a very clean formulation that is done by cultivators in Jamaica. And I would have to say, I know how fortunate I am to be able to utilize that. And I know that there's so many more sessions and expos coming around that are openly now discussing microdosing. I know that I've been asked to be a guest on panels, everybody from Canix to CBD Expo, and they're special on psychedelic science. So just seeing here what Heather has to say. I've heard that positive results. My history wasn't good in much of a minute. Right. And Heather, like I said, everybody's body is different. So possibly what you had tried wasn't the correct formulation. And maybe I always say start out, go slow as you progress. Never just jump in 2 feet first and just use a formulation that you're not familiar with. Going slow, and this is a microdose. So you want to do a small amount in the very beginning, just like with cannabis and edibles. I mean, I'm very adept to the edible concept for cannabis, but definitely going low and slow is one of the wisest ways to approach microdosing. And that's why I say sometimes for some people, they would microdose every day, and other people, it's every couple of days. And I would say now that I'm stabilized and much more balanced, I feel that that formulation for me works where I'm on 1 day and off 2 days. I mean, even the clarity of doing laundry seems a lot more succinct, if you can say that about laundry, but just it's the little things that really start to accumulate on my mental balance, my conceptual understanding. It is absolutely fascinating. And I will try and share this with friends who would never ever consider it for themselves. But luckily, I have friends who have been open to it, and they've seen things happen for themselves that have been very beneficial. So um, I'm just looking if anybody has any questions here. Craft Fair, who makes a magic honey? It's more pricey, but I think that the energy, you know what? That's great. It is the energy that people do put into any natural plant-based medicine. Um, you can use all different types of things that people make out there. But if the person who has making it has that honored intention and respecting creating good natural plant-based medicine, that's a big key right there. You want to be able to feel that you're connecting with the maker and their energy. And I know that I've always been very sensitive to that, and especially when I made certain types of, um, you know, medicines, with when I would make edibles, years ago, gosh, it was year 2000, 1999 even, I was making edibles, but I do know that I made it a very conscious um, part of my journey there. And I love the magic honey. Yeah. The thing about honey, when I got married, we were in Maui, and I had friends who came over, and of course they wanted to find the cow pastures and find some mushrooms, which they did. And they were wondering how they could get it back home. I was living in Santa Cruz, and they found that recipe for being able to isolate the mushrooms in honey, and they made all these jars of honey, and they brought it back home from Maui to Santa Cruz, and they were very excited. And so they had some very good mushrooms back there in Santa Cruz. And that was, oh, when was it? That was 1980, 1981. And I would say psychedelically, I have been involved in my own personal journey in the 80s. And the first time that Ram Dass was able to teach back at a major university, I just happened to be one of his students, and that was at UCI. And he and Dr. Timothy Leary got kicked out of Harvard, and for them to teach back at a university was pretty monumental. And when I saw it in the program for UCI, I went, no way. I have to go. I have to be a student there. And there he was, Sir Dr. Richard Alfred, now Ram Dass there, uh, teaching these classes on consciousness. I was lucky. I was very blessed that at a young age, I was able to explore different paths and at a major university. So I would say any opportunity that you have to connect with something that intrigues you, don't hold back. You allow yourself to experience your life and your path and your journey, especially when it comes to natural plant-based medicine. So that was, I was young, innocent, naive, and look what I did. I think about it now, and I think at that time in life, I would have never have thought that I would be here now, just like the book says, be here now. And let's see, Rob, that's so awesome. I know, and of course, Ram Dass did live his past few years in Maui, and I would go to Maui quite often to see friends and then to visit there. And it was it's still an experience to be around Ram Dass. And anytime I had a chance to go listen to him when he was still speaking publicly, I would definitely partake in that. And I know that there are sages and other people who are with us now on earth. So I say, don't hold back, and definitely reach out and go see them and hear them. And because with natural plant-based medicine right now, it is coming more to the forefront. It's coming more to the wellness and well-being for ourselves, not just physically, but mentally. So I think it really has the great potential to assist us in balancing us. And it is such a new path for many people right now. And for other people like me, it's an old path. But I'm showing my age, and that's okay. I feel like, we are who we are, and we are here to be here now as well. Um, so with microdosing, though, I know that we want to discuss that. Uh, it's something that it, like I said, it took me about 6 weeks. For other people, boom, they feel it immediately. And I guess it just has to depend on so many different facets, like your diet, your environment, your where you're, you know, living at too. I mean, when we surround ourselves with good, clean air and water, and we're definitely having foods that are grown from non-GMO and really clean earth, I mean, that will definitely have an effect on us when we are working with natural plant-based medicines and fungi. And, you know, but none of us, not everybody has the capability to live in a really clean environment. Believe me, I wish I could live in Maui, and probably I will someday. But I'm here in Southern California, and I make it the best I can make it, and choosing to live here for certain reasons are a benefit to me. And I feel that I have to embrace it and just really work with it and live with it and find compassion and solace wherever I'm at. But I do feel mentally and spiritually, it was really helped me. I mean, I know it's there for me physically, but I think it has so much to offer mentally and spiritually. And that's something that I put forward too. I definitely put forward my thoughts on what I want this medicine to do for me. I want to honor it, and I want to make sure that my intentions are honorable and on that path. And I think when you have that focus and you can really put it through to your meditation and know that connecting with whatever you put in your body or surround your body with, it's going to have an effect, and it's going to have a positive effect. And again, the reason why they call it microdosing is that you are taking a minimal amount of it than you would if you were doing a trip. And really a trip is different for everybody as well in what their intentions are. So let's see. Are there any questions? It looks like Brittany had said something. Jennifer, microdosing mushrooms has changed your life. I'm so glad for you, Jennifer. And I know that it's such a blessing to hear that, because I can totally relate. And knowing that, I would say, well, a year ago I weighed 210 pounds. I'm now at 149. But I didn't do this to lose weight. I did this because I knew I was seeking wellness, and I had some other health issues. So I just knew that my mind, my body, my spirit deserved to have better wellness. And with a focus on that and many other things in my life, I put it all together, and it slowly started transpiring for me. I'm not done on my wellness journey. I have so much more to go. And I just know that that was a small part of it. And I look forward to really focusing in on all the other things that are going to allow me to feel my wellness in my body, in my mind, and my spirit. Are you open to people on? Oh, yes. Come on the screen with me. Yeah, I've been a little lonely here. So let's see, do I have to? Oh, Amanda? And I'm trying to get them. Oh, I see some girlfriends. Okay, are they coming? Here they are.
Hi.
Hello, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thanks to mushrooms. And I wanted to comment on what you were saying. I too lost weight because of mushrooms, and not because I was doing it with the intention of weight loss, but it really was about control alt deleting my life, if you will. How do I move forward with intention of living well and being well? So my relationship with food changed because of mushrooms, and my ability to see it as fuel and all of these things I want to accomplish in life. I need to be fueling my body with the foods that are going to make that possible. And so unpacking different emotional eating and things I had, narratives I had around food in general, but just my life in general, and wanting to be well. The psilocybin in particular, of all the plant medicines, has been such an integral part of me healing those relationships and moving forward, prioritizing wellness. So I'm just so incredibly happy for you, and so happy for me that that's a part of what this journey with the plant medicine has brought. Thank you so much for sharing that part of your experience, because I that's not something I hear very often. It's so much of the internal, the mental, and that is such a major part of it. But it's clearly had a huge effect on your body and your overall wellness.
Right. And Joan wanted to know, how did we lose the weight? Hello. That's one thing. Whenever you lose weight, I mean, remember when Oprah lost all that weight? We want to know how she did it. Joan, this is a personal journey. And with microdosing, again, I had that thought. I think that Jennifer had that same thought too. We were seeking our wellness. We were seeking the balance of our mind, body, and spirit. And our body was out of sync. We we needed to lose weight. I know I needed to lose weight. And I just said I really wanted wellness. And I think what happens after a while, and maybe Jennifer, when you write this book, is that our mind and our body are getting back in sync with the microdosing, and it's our intentions. And mentally, if you focus on your positive intentions on a daily mantra, you have your prayers, you have your affirmations, your mantras, whatever you want to call it. These are the things that should be circulating through your brain and feeding it for that balance, that comfort, that feeling that, Joan, you deserve this. You deserve this moment in your life to find your wellness and balance. And if it means losing weight, so be it. And I really feel I had some mantras going. And I knew that I was, believe me, I've lost 1,000 pounds in my life. But right now, I feel that I don't want it to find me ever again. And I feel good about that. I don't know. How do you feel that same way, Jennifer?
Very much so. It really was about becoming more in tune with how I wanted to feel. Um, my body and my brain, and that connection, and understanding the role a healthy gut
Yeah.
microbiome plays in all of that. So if I really am being intentional, which is my word for 2022, that the psychedelics have helped me to really define for myself, is the things I eat and the things I don't eat, the people I spend my energy on, and the people I choose not to, the activities I do. Like, it's all about a lifestyle of wellness and healing, and connecting all of the pieces that were so out of sync before this. And I was eating bad food because I was emotionally eating, especially during 2020. I was in survival mode. So this wasn't I should have, I don't like to should on myself. I was surviving, but I had to move out of survival mode into what I didn't know was going to be thriving, but anything other than survival. So it was looking at all the different pieces, including the food I was eating, to move into a healthier place of being, where all the pieces were connected and all of me felt in sync.
And for me, I mean, one thing that I just is part of my mantra is kombucha. And I don't know if it was just me, but believe me, that's like my nectar. And but I tried all the different flavors out there, and I just love it, and I feel like that's my time, and um, that's my bottle of bliss. And and what you say about your gut, we eat so many things that we throw our own body off of balance. And I think with something like kombucha and putting that back in, um, is really a great assistant. So, Joan, if you're not doing kombucha, try and find. Some people don't like the taste of it. I find it an exciting journey. So, yeah, Joan, if you're not doing kombucha, maybe try kombucha. And again, it's not the amount of pounds you lose, it's more the journey of connecting your body and your mind. And of course, spiritually brings it all together. So for me, it's that little trinity of holding that sacred, and again, it's the whole package of wellness. So yeah. Um,
It's being
anyone else?
whole, right?
Yes. I'm curious if the microdosing helps create those positive intentions. Uh, I do think that the microdosing helps create the whole direction of your intentions. That's what, remember when I said about 6 weeks in, I was driving the car and just the clarity of me driving. I've driven for years, but now there's clarity here. Things were sharper. And how silly, things were sharper with doing laundry. But that's just it. Who wouldn't want more clarity in their life? That's a gift to you. And it's just through microdosing. So, yeah, I you open up your body to different things and make sure one important I think is journaling, writing down. Uh, it'll keep you on track. You'll know think, oh, I need to hold back. I don't need to take so much, or maybe you feel you need to bump it up a little. I mean, that's a good support to this is making sure you keep yourself directed in the right space. So just
One of the things I'll jump off and let somebody else have a chance to get on journaling. One of the things that I have found is sometimes it's writing down my thoughts to process them, but sometimes it's also writing down my intrusive thoughts and getting them out of my mind so that it frees up space to be able to process what the medicine is wanting to tell me. I found that one really helpful.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And I really appreciate you being in this community for all that you have done. And it's just so lovely to see you.
It's so lovely to see you as well. Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure. I thought it was something that we could, really talk about and have a better open conversation with. So yes, thank you so much. And then I do show on here that about plant-based medicine. Uh, oh, you know what? Yes, there are many, many other mushrooms that are not psychoactive or as psychotropic that are just as beneficial. Lion's mane, reishi, and you can integrate those into the body quite easily, and those are very, very available in different areas. So, and on many, it's coming now. You can see it that the manufacturing of mushrooms like that are non-psychotropic and are not as psychoactive are definitely making its way onto store shelves and everything from gummies to tinctures. So be on the lookout. And online, there's a lot of services that have those products online. Um, I'm just reading what Kaya says about are powerful allies for psychedelic medicine as a balanced nervous system. Androgens, yes, that's one thing that is very interesting is just all the different aspects of it and how it works to balance the body. Um, that I know that I've definitely had experimentation with different types of things, and I've found what works for myself and what doesn't seem to work for myself. And I definitely tried different things that I knew in the end I thought that was too much for me. But I think I found where I need to be. And if anything else comes up, that I haven't tried, I'm always willing to try. So let's see. Um, I'm practicing a herbalist and happy to answer anybody's question about this topic. Oh, Kayla, thank you so much. Kayla is an herbalist, and so if anybody has any questions, um, I combine cannabis. Yes, I definitely combine cannabis with um, microdosing in mushrooms. So, and that is a balance unto itself. The utilization for me for with cannabis and what it does, I just always focus on those endocannabinoids being a part of my body and really heightening and my wellness in that scale. So yes, um, I like now the cannabis quiets my mind and body enough to let the mushrooms speak. Oh, that's lovely. I love that, Jennifer. Um, I just feel very blessed that I can utilize both and that, you know, different parts of it for different times of my day and my life is definitely comes into play. So I feel that I mean, I love combustibles. I mean, I love the smoking, but I definitely do utilize the edibles as well. And the topicals come into play. So I use it all wherever I can on my body. So, yeah, I feel like oh, I'm just looking at what it's in here. So, um, with this, uh, I am with Coral Cove Wellness, and I have been very honored to see people come in who were sick. They were very damaged, and they had a lot of pain, from sorrow, from loss, and I just saw how amazing it was for them to utilize fungi and go through a ceremony and what happened to them afterwards. I I just feel like we need to be able to have this be legalized and decriminalized, the same as cannabis. I hold space for both of those. And I feel that, yes, the combination of the two can really help certain people. It may not be right for everybody, but I do feel that it has the potential to help a large amount of people if they are given the right type of support uh, in that utilization. So, Kayla, I really want to thank you for being here. And if anybody has a question for her as a herbalist, I really think that'd be great. Um, yes, of course, Amanda Ryman, she has a plan on cultivation of cultivating both cannabis and fungi. And I think when you do grow your own, it's a different experience, the connection with it, because then once you harvest it and gather it for yourself, oh, Amanda, was your ears burning?
I heard my name. I was having a discussion and I was like, wait a minute, I
Uh,
think he's talking about me.
Hello, everybody. This is Amanda Reinman of My Personal Plants, and what an honor to be here with you, Amanda.
Oh, it's so good to see
I was right. I mean, I just was briefly trying to tell people about what you teach and the two together. And I know that you've had a lot more experience in the cultivation of cannabis, but definitely you have your hands in there with the fungi too. I
Well,
mean,
I think it's again, it's about, building a relationship with the source of your medicine. And I found that I have a better experience. And you were talking earlier about the mushroom honey and the
Yes.
intention that goes into making the product. Well, when you're creating something for your own healing, then the intention and the energy you're putting into that plant gets to know you and it understands how to work with your energy. And I think it gives you a better consumption experience. So I would encourage anybody who hasn't grown their own medicine to just try it. It's not like you have to grow 100% of your own medicine. We all have to supplement for different reasons. But even if it dies, just try it. Just the act and the experience of putting time and energy into it really makes it a better experience.
I remember the one time I was watering plants, and of course I had music going, and I would ask them, I said, what do you guys feel, what do you girls feel like today? A little Hall and Oates? Okay. So, and it's true. When you put that positive energy into, you know, your cultivation, it really makes a difference, especially when you're consuming it. Um, yeah.
Yeah. And I would encourage people to grow things without the goal of consumption. There's something really nice about growing the plant without this idea, I'm growing this so that I can then consume it. At Personal Plants, we sell seeds and cuttings of ayahuasca, wachuma, chacruna, datura. And we're not telling people, grow this ayahuasca so you can make brew at home. We're saying grow this because if you want to get to know this plant and understand what she's about and what energy she gives off, then just have the experience of nurturing her. And regardless of what happens at the end, just enjoy that process. You're talking about Ram Dass and, be here now. I think so much of that applies to gardening.
Thank you. Yes. I love it. We should all take my personal plants with Amanda. Yeah.
It's so good to see you. And I'll just add really quick, I microdose psilocybin, and I've been doing that for a few years now. And for me, its mental health effects have been amazing. So I have a little bit of an OCD pattern of obsessive thoughts, and the mushrooms act almost as a firewall. And the thoughts kind of bounce off and they aren't able to really take root inside my brain, is like the best way I can describe it. And not having those thoughts take root and allowing them to just come and go is a huge stress relief. Because when you're someone that has repetitive thoughts, it just takes a lot of energy to keep that going. And the mushrooms really enabled me to move past that. And it like opened up all this space in my brain for not worrying, which was great because then I could fill it with other things.
The negativity that I had that would keep on coming in, it's not there any longer because I feel that I transpired to something where I'm not seeking that, the worrying. I'm seeking more the light.
Yes.
And I definitely surround myself with people who I feel the light from. So it's a constant improvement. I feel every day has another day where I can just bring it all together for myself. And who doesn't want to go into the light? Who doesn't want to see themselves transcend? And I think at a very young age, I was in Sunday school and I went to the Buddhist church, and I remember, she was talking about how Buddha got enlightenment, and so I raised my hand. Teacher, how do I get enlightened? I mean, I want to get enlightened right now.
What'd she say?
I'm still working on it, and that's okay.
What was her answer to you when you said you wanted to get enlightened right now?
Right now, it was that instant orange juice thing. No, I'm still working on it, and I'm okay about it now. And I hope that we all can become enlightened, and find our path and find what makes us feel comfortable within ourselves. And I think that's a really important thing. And I know that years ago, I worked on not being so judgmental. And I think when I had that little mantra going on, that was a very positive thing for me. Not that it was really judgmental, but I just felt like I don't need to have that in my life any longer, because the more secure you are with yourself, the more happiness you'll find.
Absolutely. And I think psilocybin helps facilitate that feeling,
Mhm.
you know?
What does Tashka Carter? Our plant needs more of us planting and showing reciprocity. Yes, this is an energetic exchange. Yes. Changing the language around consumption is important. Being enlightened sounds better than going on a trip. Yes. I don't usually say going on a trip. Yeah. But I love the fact of being enlightened. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
enlightened this weekend with some mushrooms.
Yes, I know. After today, sharing all this time with all these lovely people, um, it's very important. Yes, thank you. And I think that's Takesha. Yeah. I probably should put on my reading glasses. Maybe I should work on improving my vision.
Well, this has been great, Keiko. I'm going to jump back out of the room, but I
Thank
appreciate
you,
you having me up
Amanda.
here. And it's
I'm
always
glad
great to
you
see.
have felt your ears burning.
Yeah, well, you look wonderful, and it's just so great to see you, just so
Good
vibrant
to see
and
you
bright.
too. And
Yeah.
I got done moving.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to be moving here in just a few months to Vermont.
I know.
So
Do you need any boxes? I got a lot of boxes.
we have a ton of boxes because we get food delivery every week and it comes in a box. So we've been saving them just for this
Okay.
occasion.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye bye, Amanda. Thank you so much. Amanda Reinman, everybody. Thank you. Um, so back to microdosing. Some of you here may have not ever done microdosing before. And again, it is the formulation. So make sure that you find out as much as you can about the formulation that's being presented to you, and feel good about what, you know, well, you should look and see about different formulations that are out there, because they're all different. And and who's making it, and that's just it, because things aren't regulated. uh, like Amanda was saying, know who it is who's doing the cultivation. That's one thing why I like the Emerald Cup. You can find out who these cultivators are, and and a little bit about them. And years ago I volunteered at the Emerald Cup, and I my job was giving the badges to the cultivators. And so they're checking in, and these are people who have been on the earth for or working with the earth for like 9 months. They're so busy they hardly come down to the city, or if they do, it's just not for very long at all. And and so for me, I felt like my job was to welcome them with open arms and let them know them as a cultivator was such an honored thing. And for in that, because I was giving them a T-shirt and their badge, and of course I was, just so emphatic how wonderful it was they were a cultivator. They always had to pull out their little bag or jar and to show me what they had been growing. And of course, they bring out this little jar. They're going to give me a nugget. Tell you the best volunteer position I ever had. And I brought it home to our Airbnb, and all my friends who were there sharing it with me. Of course, I shared all these nugs with them, um, because we were all there together. the thing was is that um, I was able to share about each of these cultivators and what made them so special, and why they were cultivating, and and we had that connection. And that's just it. When you know who your cultivator is, whether it be for your fungi or your cannabis, that's what makes it rewarding. I feel it's almost like knowing, you know, who grew the grapes for the wine. But of course, I've never drank wine, uh, so knowing that these cultivators of fungi have some really wonderful intentions, and they are doing it for the reasons where they want to make a difference. And same with cannabis. So yes, for it does go hand in hand, and you want to be able to, if you can, find out a little bit more about who's cultivating your fungi. Um, yeah, just seeing what other questions, or if anybody has any questions. So I feel because of Joan's question, maybe Jennifer and I should write how to lose weight with fungi. We'll be the new Jenny Craig. Oh, that'd be funny. But um, I'm sure that'd be on the interesting bestseller pages, or the listing of that. So let's see here. Go back to a few questions. I want to say congratulations to my friend Kristen Jordan out of New York. She was named as one of the most future influential people of 2022 in the cannabis space. So just have to give a shout out for her. And take a drink here. Let's see. Having us list. So cool, so anti-capitalist. I hope so. I don't. I'm just reading this here from Danielle about how wanting to make sure that um, we don't get to be capitalists when it comes to fungi. And let's face it, cannabis has gotten to be a little bit capitalist, which is kind of sad. I've seen it, you know, where it came from, you know, the a different area. It wasn't so much of an industry. And, you know, I miss the community. Believe me, I'm so glad that there are a lot more people who have access to cannabis based medicine. But I do feel that there are different companies that have come in who don't even consider that this is a real medicine. And that's just it. Fungi is a medicine too. And it's like I want to protect it and keep it and honor it in this tiny bubble of light. And that's something I'm really going to have to think about, is how can we keep that in a space where it is honored and it is respected. And I know people right now who are really planning on having it come out and have great products, and they really want to be able to help people in their health and their wellness. And they're not looking at having this huge commodity and having this big, you know, company and industry. They're looking at individual people being able to give themselves wellness. And I really hope that we can stay safe with that. Um, so that's one thing that I know that is on the minds of a lot of the people. So I do hope that this time learning about or openly talking about microdosing has been beneficial. And I look forward to a time where we can all be together. I mean, I appreciate so much what these virtual sessions can do in bringing people together and sharing different things. And this is a subject that I really felt was important to bring out. So I appreciate your time, and I hope that I will see you in the future. So thank you so much. And I'm Keiko Beatie, and I'm Director of Education at Coral Cove Wellness, and I look forward to seeing you all in the future.